Rex Grossman makes his 6th NFL start. His first start last December was against the Vikings, and the Bears won the game down at Soldier Field. Steve Edwards starting at right guard for the injured Mike Gandy. Thomas Jones along with Brian Johnson. Bears wide receivers caught only 3 passes last week in the win over Green Bay, and Thomas Jones takes the handoff from Rex Grossman on first down. Short gain. Keith Newman made the tackle.
The of Chicago knows that, so he's coming out trying to throw the ball and loosen the defense up.
Bunch formation to the right. 3rd and 10. Grossman steps up and throws. It's complete for a first down out at the 48-yard line. Bobby Wade, the only Bears receiver who caught a pass last week at Lambeau. He caught 3, and Wade picks up the first.
Nice job right here, the offensive line, of creating this gap right here. That opening, allowing Rex Grossman, who's only about 6 feet tall, has a hard time seeing over tall defensive and offensive linemen. He has to be able to find openings to throw the ball to.
Vikings have not forced a 3-and-out all season. Bears picked up the first on 3rd and 10 as Thomas Jones takes it into Vikings territory for a gain of 3. Kevin Williams made the tackle.
Let me throw some names at you here, Kenny. Jim, that was made in the offseason.
152 yards last week in Green Bay.
There it is, screen to him now.
After Grossman did a 360, Jones first down to the Vikings 38-yard line, gain of 10.
Okay, this is the old double screen here. I mean, you fake the screen left and then you turn around. Watch, they'll fake the screen here to the right here. Thomas Jones will come over and block, and then he'll sneak out over here. Get a couple linemen out there. Nice little move right there. No pressure on Grossman. Rex said last week he thought he did a good job of managing the game. Not trying to Thomas Jones, taking what the defense gives him.
From the 39, the end around to Bobby Wade. We saw this last week up in Green Bay. And Wade picks up the 3rd Bears first down of this drive. He gains 14 yards.
I'll tell you, the Bears ran a ton of reverses last week. They gave it to Bobby Wade a couple times. This is who they're trying to confuse out here. Run it this way, get these guys flowing, and then come back. Believe me, the Vikings saw this all week in practice. For the Bears to get this reverse right now, Ted Cottrell, the defensive coordinator, might be having some heart murmurs. Nice call by Terry Shea. They'll run that reverse a bunch today, and they won't necessarily always hand it off.
Anthony Thomas now in the backfield for the Bears. And the A-Train, who gained over 1,000 yards for the 2nd time in his career last season, gains 6 down to the 19-yard line. Keith Newman made the tackle. Vikings have already lost a linebacker during this first series, Chris Claiborne, and his return today is doubtful.
Well, the Vikings made a lineup change at linebacker this week. They moved Chris Claiborne to the weak side. Keith Newman, who was inactive last week, to the strong side. Left E.J. Henderson in the middle. Keith Newman took the place of Dontarius Thomas, a rookie linebacker who had struggled the first 2 weeks in pass coverage.
It's a left calf strain for Chris Claiborne. Bunch formation to the left, 2nd down and 4. And the handoff to Thomas. And Thomas Jones takes it down to the 15-yard line.
Tell you, the Bears right now in this opening drive, it's like they've scripted this thing, and they've rehearsed this script all week because every play has been perfectly executed. That's the guy right there. It's Terry Shea calling the plays right now. Brought an offense from Kansas City that's been very successful, the best offense in football the last 2 years. And their Thomas Jones has got to be Priest Holmes. I mean, that's how he looks at it. Rex Grossman has to develop into Trent Green.
From the 15-yard line, here's Jones. And it's interesting that you mentioned Trent Green, the guy that Terry Shea worked with the last couple of years in Kansas City. Rex Grossman grew up in Bloomington, Indiana. Trent Green played for the University of Indiana. And Trent Green actually umpired some of Rex Grossman's Little League baseball games.
Funny how that thing all comes around. Right now, positive yards on every play here from Chicago in this opening drive. And It takes the crowd out of the game at the same time while keeping the Vikings offense off the field.
Wade in motion, 2nd down and 8. Jones following the fullback, Brian Johnson, takes it down to the 10-yard line, setting up 3rd down and about 4. Bears have already eaten 6 minutes off the clock.
Injuries all over the league, and you got to overcome them.
1st down and 15, and the give to Ontario Smith. And Smith brings it up to the 28-yard line. The wideouts. 2nd down and 8 from the 28. Culpepper intended for the former Bear, Marcus Robinson. Broken up by Todd McMillan, making his 2nd career start. Starting today for the injured Charles Tillman.
Well, the pressure is on all those guys back there. You see the defensive line, Alex Brown, Tank Johnson making his first start, the rookie. Next to the other rookie, Tommy Harris. Hunter Hillemeyer gets the start, his first NFL start for Brian Urlacher. And then the secondary, broken down, but Mike Green, R.W. McQuarters, the experienced guys. Todd Johnson making his first start. Todd McMillan, as you mentioned, the 2nd start.
Culpepper out of the shotgun. Vikings have to get to the 36 for a 1st down. Catch is made by Randy Moss up at the 38-yard line. His first catch today, and it's good for a Vikings 1st down.
Well, he's making his first start, and you expect that from Adam Heyer, but the veteran guys, he's expecting those guys to play at a good level.
On 1st and 20, Culpepper faked the end around, dumps it off to Ontario Smith. Smith into Bears territory. 1st down and more. Finally forced out of bounds by Todd Johnson at the Chicago 36-yard line.
But never been a starter. Bears just trying to get lined up right now.
36 yards for Ontario Smith on that previous play. Culpepper escaped from a good layup, and the pass caught by the tight end Owens, and he brings it down to the 25-yard line. Another Vikings 1st down as we check in. 4 consecutive wins at home for Mark Bulger. One shy of Kurt Warner's record. From the 25 on 1st down, Culpepper with loads of time. And the pass incomplete, intended for Smith out of the backfield.
They're thinking touchdown everything, but they can't get this far and not come away with points.
Burleson in motion. From the 25, the give is to Smith, and he is unable to turn the corner. Hit first by Israel Adonijah, the rookie out of the University of Manitoba.
Well, you know, the Vikings have been a great...
3 wide receivers set. Mo Williams in the backfield. 3rd down and 11. Culpepper in trouble, hit by Ogunlea. Ball is loose, and it's recovered. Looks like the Vikings have it.
There it is. I mean, there's the Vikings kind of self-destructing once they start making progress down the field. I mean, Culpepper was looking for Moss. He's looking for Moss still on the screen right there. He was like, what happened to Randy? They did a nice job of zoning Randy Moss on that play.
For the injured Brian Urlacher. Following the missed field goal, Bears starting from the 36-yard line off the play fake. Grossman under pressure. Lobs one up there, and the catch is made by Thomas Jones. Taken out of bounds by Mike Nattiel at the Vikings 37 as Jones gains 27 yards.
I tell you, that's more than managing a game right there. That's making a play right there by Rex Grossman. To feel the pressure up here and to avoid this pressure on a blitz. Keith Newman has him. Grossman gets out, keeps his head up, confidently drops the ball out of the sky into Thomas Jones' hand. Again, Thomas Jones showing his versatility.
Here's Jones bursting up the middle, down to the 29-yard line, gain of 8.
I'll tell you, that was a burst out of Thomas Jones. What I noticed from Jones last week, they came out, Kenny, in the 3rd quarter to start the game against Green Bay, and they gave it to Thomas Jones 6 times in a row. And after a 54-yard gain, he didn't come out of the clock, playing keep away from that offense, not allowing Moss and Culpepper on the field except for that one series.
3rd down and 2 for Chicago, and Grossman's pass is caught for a 1st down by Brian Johnson. And the former Redskin takes it down to the 19-yard line. He needed 2, and he gained 10.
Nice play by Brian Johnson, but watch the block right here of Thomas Jones on the outside, allowing Grossman to get this ball off. He goes and meets the rusher, allowing Grossman to get plenty of time and vision to find Johnson, who is turning out to be a good pickup, another good free agent pickup for this Bears team. Very good receiver, an excellent special team player.
2 tight ends, 1st and 10 from the 19. The pitch to Jones. And Thomas Jones gains just 1 down to the 18-yard line.
Lovie Smith last night, out of East Texas, Big Sandy, Texas. He took his team to see Friday Night Lights, the story of Odessa Permian high school football under the lights in West Texas. And he was excited about it. Football in Texas is king. They all were congratulating Lovie last week in his first NFL win. A lot of telegrams, a lot of phone calls this week following probably the biggest name out of Big Sandy, Texas.
Thomas Jones inside the 15, inside the 10, picks up another Bears first down at the 8-yard line.
Remember last year, I thought the big free agent acquisition by Carolina was Stephen Davis and what he did to that football team. You're watching right now Thomas Jones play, and you say, okay, the free agents that got signed by different teams in this league, this Thomas Jones might be the best of all of them right now and the biggest contributor. We've seen him in pass protection. We've seen him catching the ball. We see him running the tough yards on short yardage and now making people miss getting to the outside.
1st and goal for the Bears from the Vikings 8. Again, a 2 tight end set. Johnson shifting into the backfield. Off the play fake. Grossman escapes. And it's taken down back at the 10-yard line. He lost the football. Vikings have it. Ten seconds remaining in the quarter. Vikings following the turnover start from the 10. Ontario Smith.
That ball out?
Lost the football, so the Vikings give it right back.
It's like Agulia had the ball. Yeah. Wally, who got his first sack for the Bears in the last series, just got himself his first fumble recovery.
Timeout.
From the Eagles, pulled the ball out of Dante Culpepper's hand right before half, going in for a touchdown.
Draw Thomas Jones down to the 5. Finally tackled at the 4, and he picked up the Bears first.
Jones on the carry for Chicago.
Yeah, Thomas Jones got himself a convoy going forward right there, carrying the pile. His best friends are the big monsters up front. Reuben Brown right there in your picture. John Tate, Olin Kreutz, Steve Edwards filling in for Mike Gandy, who's injured right now. That group is controlling this line of scrimmage early in this game.
Official spot back at the 5. 3rd and goal. Grossman throwing corner of the end zone. Out of bounds. David Terrell, the intended receiver. Bears patching it together. And they lead 6-0. 4 wide receivers for the Vikings. Kelly Campbell in motion. This is Campbell. He has great speed and picks up the first down out to the 33-yard line. Bobby Gray made the tackle after an 11-yard pickup.
Out there now.
From the 32 on first down, this is Smith. And he's forced back. Somebody lost a helmet.
Yeah. Well, see, that's a play that when Jim Kleinsaucer was here, that's Sean Burton, who they just signed this week. He was in a shopping mall at the Mall of America on Tuesday when he got a call from Mike Tice. He gets beat right at the point. Now you see you got 4 Chicago Bear players right there. Without Kleinsaucer and Rosenthal, right now, while these young guys get some experience and learn how to play the game at this level on Sundays, they're going to struggle in their strong side running game. And this is why they now come out with 3 wide receivers.
Also without Jermaine Wiggins today. 2nd and 11. Culpepper wanted to take off. Lost the ball. The question is, was he down?
I haven't heard a whistle.
Vikings recover.
I didn't hear a whistle, Kenny.
Vikings fall on it back at the 31-yard line. Vikings have to get to the 42 for a first down. Culpepper airing it out. Kelly Campbell makes the catch in Bears territory at the Chicago 29-yard line. A 40-yard pass play. So a new center, a new right tackle for the Vikings during this series. From the 7, first and goal. Culpepper inside the 5. Brought down at the 2. Lance Briggs made the tackle.
Remember last Monday night, I mean just 6 days ago, Culpepper was in that position a couple of times running for the end zone.
It was the play that caused him to look indecisive on Monday night.
That was a fake draw pass. So he faked the draw, and then he wanted to throw the ball, but they covered him, covered the receiver.
Culpepper to the end zone, and Moss makes the catch for the touchdown.
Very randy, baby.
That left leg out of the middle right now for the Vikings.
Pass caught by David Terrell, who went without a catch last week in Green Bay. So the Vikings, without 2 of their starting linebackers, both
1-0 back to Kenny, Brian, and Jay.
JB, you talk about weapons. That's their long snapper that caught that touchdown pass.
Mike Bartram getting into the end zone. 3rd down and 8. And Grossman's pass is broken up, but there is a flag. Terrell, the intended receiver, Terrence Shaw, the former
have the football.
Instead, the Vikings take over at the Bears 46. And Ontario Smith gains 9 before he is wrapped up by Mike Green. You can challenge the touching of a forward pass by a defensive player.
Sure. Replay, they had a look at it. The Bears could have challenged that.
2nd down and 1. Culpepper dumping it off to Smith. First down to the 26-yard line. Mike Tice has
in the ointment of that rule that once the extra point is kicked that you can't challenge.
Here's Smith from the 27, takes it down to the 24-yard line, a gain of 3.
5 penalties. They got the turnover. Came away with just 3 field goals.
Out of the shotgun, Culpepper on 2nd and 7. Pass intended for Nate Burleson. Alex Brown on the coverage.
Well, the state of kickers in the NFL, he may get that chance to do it. Vikings have been through a lot of young kickers under Mike Tice, trying to find the right answer.
Bernard Varian tackled at the 25 by Richard Owens.
341 and counting. You got to take your hat off to him.
How many games did you play?
I'm just old, period. I don't even know if I can count anymore.
Thomas Jones tackled after a short gain by Dontarius Thomas.
He always gets him to laugh and smile and loosens him up. Mike Vick was great last week.
Grossman on 2nd and 8, complete to Jones. You got Terry to laugh this morning on Fox NFL Sunday.
Well, there's more than one Baldy in the house. Big 3rd down here for the Bears, trying to hold on to it.
They have to get to the 36 for a first down. Grossman over the middle. Varian makes the catch, but he hesitated. Needed only a half yard. He hesitated and was tackled at the 35.
Right now, of course, Favre has the record, and Peyton Manning played every game so far in 7 seasons.
Vikings from the 40. Smith bottled up by Michael Haynes. And since 1999, Brian, not only have Favre and Manning started every game, but they are tied for the most wins in the league.
Really, this battered Bears secondary right now, -3 starters, a bunch of backups to backups in there right now, have done a good job against Moss this afternoon. Randy has 3 catches for 28 yards, nothing deep, the 1 touchdown. I mean, you got to give your credit here to Todd Johnson and Cameron Worrell and Nathan Vasher and these kids that are out there playing against the most explosive receiver in the game.
Culpepper under pressure, able to get rid of it. And there's a late flag. Pass intended for Ontario Smith.
Culpepper.
From the 49 out of the shotgun. 3 wide receivers set. Rolling right. Pass caught at the 38-yard line. Nate Burleson. Three wide receivers. Culpepper now steps up to the line.
Well, he sees single coverage for Randy Moss right now.
Culpepper in trouble. Gets it away. Here's Ontario Smith. Down to the Bears' 33-yard line. You know, Alex Brown was in Culpepper's face. He got rid of the football. Great as we check in with Jay Glazer. Jay?
Well, guys, obviously the Bears could certainly use Brian Urlacher. Brian told me that late Thursday, his hamstring, he actually felt that pop again in that hamstring. He said it was not as bad as his training camp injury. However, he also told me that head coach Lovie Smith told him, you're going to sit out today. Maybe you'll sit out next week as well because we have the bye after that. And I asked him about his backup, Hillenmeyer, and he said, you know what? The guy knows the defense as well as I do. Guaranteed he'll be fine.
And Jay, this is the first game Brian Urlacher is watching from the sidelines in his NFL career. He and Mike Brown, both drafted in 2000, and played in 66 straight.
I guarantee you that any injury Urlacher has right now pales in comparison to standing on the sidelines and watching the game.
Not an easy thing to do.
No. Especially when you enjoy the game as much as he does.
From the 35, pump fake. Culpepper steps up. Penalty marker as Dante takes it out of bounds at the 25-yard line. So Dante wins today's quarterback challenge.
Yeah, that's a lot of quarterbacks around the league. They do that during practice. See if they can hit the crossbar. More blitz looks here from Chicago. They drop out this time.
Burleson, nice catch, nice move. Brought down at the 12 with a minute remaining. Bears send out 4 wide receivers, but they keep it on the ground, and Thomas Jones finds a big hole, brings it out to the 36, and Rex Grossman calls timeout. A 23-yard pickup for Jones. Now 11 seconds remaining in the half.
I tell you, if Thomas Jones has the football, you better be ready to tackle this guy, because if you're not, watch what happens at the end of this play. Vikings are kind of thinking, the play's over, maybe they'll take a knee. This Thomas Jones isn't over yet. He ran right into Brian Russell here. Boom, knocked Mike Natil off his feet.
They're down at 23. They're waiting for us in Voorhees.
Yeah, aren't they?
First we check out what the Minnesota Vikings can do on 3rd and long, and Moss makes the catch in Bears territory at the 38-yard line. His 4th catch today and his longest reception of the season, 44 yards.
I tell you, Randy Moss, he finally got the ball down the field. I mean, his longest reception this year was 22 yards before that catch. Here he is in the slot working against Mike Green. See, they put the middle linebacker on him that time. There's no way Hunter Hillenmeyer can run with Randy Moss. Now, maybe Urlacher healthy can do that. But they finally got it behind the middle linebacker for the first time today.
From the 37.
Go back. Here comes Moss. They got him doubled.
And Culpepper forced out of bounds. Back at the 42.
This play was all designed to get the ball to Randy Moss here. And he's just kind of walk off the line. Now he's going to make his burst. Now look at the Bears. They've got a guy below him and above him. That Todd Johnson was going to go anywhere Randy Moss went. Randy Moss left the field to go scratch his ankle. He was going to go right there with him.
Ian Scott credited with a sack on the play. 2nd down and 15. Smith, big burst. Picks up the 1st down and more. Ontario Smith finally taken down inside the Bears' 5-yard line.
Well, when the Vikings don't self-destruct, they're an explosive football team, and it can come from a lot of different players. Ontario Smith right here, you see this thing from the end zone. Good lead block that time by Sean Burton. And then you see the moves in the open field of Ontario Smith. The lead block by Burton right there. Excellent job against Lance Briggs.
38-yard run down to the 5. Smith. No signal yet.
One of those deals where the body crossed the plane, but the ball never crossed the goal line.
Like Culpepper last week when he was stripped.
Exactly. Culpepper's body was in the end zone. The ball never went across the end zone line. It's a cutback run here. This is their gut run. Their signature run here, gut right behind the left guard, Lewinsky. You see that ball never, his legs were down before the ball crossed the line. Boy, Todd Johnson almost pulled that ball out.
Culpepper looks to take it in himself. Touchdown!
Referee, get it right. There he is, still giving him some lip there. Hey, I wasn't out there. Here's 97 right here, maybe. Michael Haynes, who pushed at the end of the play.
So Rex Grossman and the Bears start from their own 9-yard line. Play action on first down. Wow, nearly intercepted, and it's caught by David Terrell. Antoine Winfield went for it, and Terrell able to make the catch for a 19-yard pickup.
All right, look, Kenny, that's the 4th reception by a Bear wide receiver today. Last week, they only had 3 catches. You're down 11. It's nice to run the ball and play keep away, but you need points, and you need touchdowns, and the points have to come from your receivers, from your explosive players. So they've got to get the ball down the field to the wide receivers here in this half if they want to win this football game.
From the 29, Grossman to the air again.
Wow.
And the catch is made in Vikings territory by Bobby Wade, who beat Antoine Winfield on the play.
Well, they've just gone after Antoine Winfield 2 plays in a row successfully. And Antoine Winfield is their best cornerback. Winfield working that double move. Remember, the defensive coordinator this week, Ted Cottrell, said Antoine Winfield never gets beat on a double move. We just got beat on that double move. And Rex Grossman has just thrown 2 beautiful passes.
Bears have gone 60 yards in 2 plays. 41 yards to Bobby Wade. There's Jones. Down to the 27-yard line, gain of 4. Dontarius Thomas on the tackle.
Well, the leading receiver, in the first half was Thomas Jones. I mean, they're getting the ball to the running backs, haven't gotten the ball to a tight end. Just now, kind of opening things up with the wide receivers. It's nice to kind of play and manage a game and play for the win when you have a lead like they did last week in Green Bay. Now down these points, down 2 scores. You have to open things up a little bit more. And it's a good opportunity for Rex Grossman to show you that he can more than just manage a game. Here, an empty backfield spreading the Vikings out.
2nd and 6.
Nice throw.
To the outside, caught by Berrien, his 2nd catch, and he has the first down.
Rex Grossman, when we spoke with him yesterday, had a nice meeting, nice chat with him. And he said that he likes that empty set, with no running backs, but he likes to shift to it. Because when you shift and move, the defense will show you where they're going. You can tell if it's a man-to-man or if it's a zone just by who goes out to cover the back or the tight end that shifts.
And you saw Grossman has already thrown 17 passes today, only 18 the entire game last week, as Jones takes it down to the 17-yard line. Grossman told us once we got up 21-3 in Green Bay, my primary thought was just don't lose the game.
Well, he said that, he came out of Florida in the SEC, and he said there was no greater feeling than going on the road and winning in hostile territory. And he said that same feeling last week in Green Bay, going up there and quieting the crowd, a little bit like the crowd is right now. He said that was as much fun as anything else.
2nd down and 8 from the Vikings 18. Grossman can't find anybody. There is a flag. Now fires. And Terrell was forced out. So that is a catch. And a force out cannot be challenged.
It's going to be a hold, though, Kenny. by the offensive line of Chicago.
4 wide receivers. Bobby Wade in motion. 2nd and 19 from the 28. And the give to Jones. And Jones picks up 8 down to the 20. Thomas, the tackle, setting up. Well, if he played for the Vikings, he could have had his choice of different shades of purple. From the 29, Culpepper to Moss. First down, gain of 12. Well, Brian, I think the Voorhees Vikings are finally ready.
They've only got one shot on Hunter Hillemeyer here today. To me, that's a matchup that they can win with Randy Moss again.
2nd and a long 6. Culpepper to Ontario Smith. And how about the block thrown by Burleson on Hillenmeyer?
Yeah, tell you, guys are working for each other here. Good teamwork here. Nate Burleson, and Moss sees it too. Watch this block by Burleson, who's up here in the slot. Culpepper does a good job of beating the blitz, and boom, knocked the middle linebacker right off his feet. You know, Hillemeyer has been used to hit like that on special teams, running down, covering kicks, but hadn't been hit like that at middle linebacker yet this season. If you're the Bears right now, that's what you're looking to do.
1st and 5 following the penalty. Smith hit for a loss by Lance Briggs. Loss of 2 on the play. Smith has a suspension looming for violating the NFL substance abuse program. But the Vikings also expecting to get Michael Bennett back pretty soon.
It's almost going to be passing on the baton. I mean, Michael Bennett has been practicing with the team. They've got a bye week next week. When they come back getting ready for Houston after the bye, Michael Bennett should be ready to go.
2nd down and 7 from the 35. Smith. And Ontario Smith picks up the first down to the 25-yard line.
The Vikings scored in the last drive. This is how they did it. I mean, an explosive play over the middle to Moss against Hunter Hillemeyer. And then Ontario Smith ripping off the left side behind Lewinsky and McKinney. That put him down inside the 5-yard line. And then Culpepper with the quarterback sneak. Pretty vintage Viking offense right there. This is that area of the field where they have struggled the last 2 years, getting points and finishing drives.
Play action. Bumping it off to Smith, his 6th catch today. And Smith takes it down to the 13. Mo Williams has checked in, replacing Smith in the Vikings backfield. From the 13, penalty markers. Kelly Campbell lost the football. And it's picked up by Hillenmeyer. Gets it back to Lance Briggs. Another flag comes in. The big question is, was the original penalty against the Vikings or the Bears down at the line of scrimmage?
Getting in and out of cuts, getting in and out of the hole.
From the 44, following the penalty. Over the top to the tight end, John Gilmore. Now, speaking of Tony Dorsett, it was in this dome back in January of '83 when Tony Dorsett set an NFL record, a 99-yard run with Brian Baldinger, my partner, at right guard.
Yeah, it was actually right from this end zone. Went right down that sideline. Drew Pearson threw a block down there, longest run in NFL history right here.
99 yards for the Cowboys against the Vikings. From the 33, Thomas Jones,
out.
He lost it, but
out.
it's fallen on by Kasim Mitchell, the left tackle.
Man, when offensive linemen are hustling and they're running downfield, this is what happens. You end up picking up a loose ball like that. A huge play by Big Q. Watch Kasim Mitchell here. I mean, watch the whole play here. Did a good job of coming down on Hovan. Now watch him. Now he's going down the field. He's hustling. That's not easy agility there. 350 pounds. Being able to dive over the pile there to find the loose ball. Save that drive.
Mitchell picked up an extra yard. Jones up the middle. Looks to have the first down. So the Bears trying to capitalize on the Vikings turnover.
Well, I tell you, Q, I mean, you look at plays, and I don't know how this is going to work out today, but you look at plays that are pivotal and key. That hustle right there by Q was huge for the Bears. Here's a guy who's really struggled the last week and a half. His father passed away, missed a day of practice last week, played his best game last week against the Packers, and playing pretty good here today.
Stat Thomas, a retired U.S. Marine, passed away a week and a half ago, missed a day of practice. Played well up at Green Bay. From the 22 on first down, the pitch to Jones. And Jones takes it out of bounds. No gain on the play. 44 seconds remaining, third quarter.
Yeah, they ran right behind Q that time. You know, he had the rookie, Udeza, on the outside here. This is block right here. Udeza does a good job of penetrating. Got his hands out of there in time, so they didn't call a hold. Pretty good matchup right there. Two young players.
Three wide receivers. Terrell split to the left. Wade and Berrien to the right. Jones down to the 15-yard line.
Right behind Q. This is Kasim's drive here, Kent. Is second to none. That's what you want from that position.
From the 20, following the penalty, Smith. Couple of nice moves, takes it out to the 31-yard line, gain of 11.
You know, I tell you, Ontario's going to be suspended for 4 games, and it's probably going to be sometime around now as the Vikings get ready for their bye week. They get ready to play Houston in 2 weeks, and it looks like Ontario wants to leave a good impression here before he takes a 4-week sabbatical. Michael Bennett right there on the sidelines. He's looking at Ontario's moves going, I have those moves. I'm getting healthy. The knee's coming back. It's coming back. It's getting strong.
From the 31, Culpepper, Moss.
Watch out.
Into Bears territory. Out of bounds at the 37-yard line after a gain of 32.
And no flags. I mean, you almost have to say that after every big Viking play today. You know, R.W. McQuarters is trying to chase him. You don't even see 21 in your screen. He's so far away from him.
Very Randy, baby. Yeah!
Ryan, the 39th career 100-yard day for Moss, one shy of Chris Carter's team record.
Chris Carter came to watch that game on the Vikings sideline Monday night in Philadelphia.
Nice catch by the tight end, Owens. Did Culpepper pull the hidden ball trick there?
Well, he did. I mean,
the former Bear Marcus Robinson out for the Vikings, left hamstring injury. Keenan Howry now in at wide receiver. That pass is headed for Burleson, who took a hard hit from Todd Johnson. And there is a flag. Johnson and Green on the coverage. Some extracurricular activity.
This is looking a lot like the black and blue division. They better get a hold of this thing. Mike Green is going to get himself thrown out of this game. They can't afford that.
Dante Culpepper right in the middle of it, trying to play the role of peacemaker.
Big fumble.
Culpepper did a 360, then handed it off to Smith. Tripped up. Took it down to the 6.
The Vikings are going to hate to lose Ontario Smith. I mean, he just looks like he keeps getting more and more explosive as this game goes on. They spent a lot of time in this area of the field in practice on Friday, trying to get the ball in the end zone and not making mistakes.
Second down and 1. 3 wide receivers. Culpepper to the end zone off the fingertips of Moss. 8-point lead. 3rd down and 1 from the Chicago 6. Culpepper asking for quiet from the crowd. Moss in motion. Rolling right. Culpepper threw it away as he was heading out of bounds, so the Vikings will send it.
The Vikings defense right here with the lead. You'd think that they would play aggressive and go after Rex Grossman. Force him into a turnover and try and put this thing on ice right now.
Bears start from their own 21. Grossman looking downfield on 1st down. Instead, he takes off and slides out to the 27 for a gain of 6.
As again, Rex Grossman out of the pocket. I've seen this now in all 3 games the Bears have played this year. Rex Grossman out of the pocket, looking for some help, looking for a friend, somebody to throw the ball to. Nobody coming back to the football. A guy like David Terrell now, you know, after the loss of Marty Booker in the trade, they're looking what a number 1 receiver does, and why you call him a number 1 is they're a great blocker, they're a big guy, you go to him in a big moment, but then those guys love to get the ball, and they can feel when a play breaks down, and they break off their pattern and come back to help the quarterback.
Empty backfield, 2nd down and 4. Over the top for the tight end, Justin Lyman, for a Bears 1st down, out to the 36. Bears wide receivers, only 6 catches today.
Not a lot of opportunities.
Terrell has 2 of the 6 after he was shut out last week by the Packers. From the 36 on 1st down. Grossman with Jones, he dropped it. Tried to run before he had possession.
Well, I think they got to find more ways to get Thomas Jones the ball. I know they're down by 11 here, but really, Thomas Jones, the receiver, has made a number of big plays this year already from the running back position. He's going to be a good player. And I like watching him play. Plays with a big motor. Here's a guy that lost 100 pounds from when he was in high school to when he graduated from USC last year.
From the 41, Grossman takes off. Has the 1st down out to the 49-yard line as we send it west one more time to James Brown in law.
To Kenny.
All right, JB, that National League wild card race going right down to the wire. Thomas Jones into Vikings territory to the Minnesota 48.
Cub fans hanging on, aren't they? That nail biter all the way down to the final week of the season.
While the Minnesota Twins have already clinched the playoff berth.
The Twins are going to be playing some playoff games here. I think by the time the playoffs finish, the World Series ends, it's going to be snow all over the streets here in Minnesota. They got a lot of baseball to be played.
Empty backfield from the 48. Terrell, 1st down, there's a flag. Interesting scenario. If the Twins make it to the World Series, not sure how happy our bosses would be with the morning World Series game.
Not crazy about that.
From the 46. Nice catch on the low throw made by Lyman. Out of bounds at the 46.
Now, Rex Grossman is about 6 feet tall. And, you know, for guys that are a little challenged, vertically challenged, they've got to throw between these trees here, between these defensive linemen. It's hard to throw over them. So the best thing to do is get in this guy's vision right here. But the Vikings consistently give Rex Grossman a lane to step up to where he gets good vision to find a receiver. And there's a lot of ways they can do that. They can stunt in here, bring linemen in the middle. They can blitz here from the linebacker position. But the worst thing for Rex Grossman is when he gets hands right in his face.
I'm out.
You see geeks out there, fantasy football geeks, going to watch that one.
From the 46. Bears need 5 yards for a 1st down, and they get it. Thomas Jones down to the 32-yard line of the Vikings.
Well, I tell you, he got good protection that time. You see Mitchell getting up limping. Offensive line gave Rex Grossman a couple extra seconds there to find Thomas Jones. The Vikings blitz right here from depth. Brian Russell coming from the secondary. Like you see, Mitchell made Brian Russell take the long way around Manhattan to get there. By doing so, allowed Rex Grossman a little extra time to hang on to the ball.
From the 33.
Justin Gage.
He's got it. He was down at the 1.
What, Justin Gage, only his second catch of the year and just disappeared the last 2 weeks. The explosive play that the Bears have been looking for all day. Again, good protection. And he gets sandwiched by Chavis from the slot. Got exactly what they wanted. Right down the middle of the field, a little bit of opening, and that was a beautiful throw by Grossman. Gage wants to know why it wasn't a touchdown.
3 tight ends. Jones. He's in for the touchdown. Thomas Jones with his 4th touchdown run.
They should go for 2 here, Kenny.
From the 33-yard line. Culpepper to Nate Burleson. Still on his feet. Off to the races. One man to beat. It's McQuarters. A penalty marker as Burleson is finally dragged down at the 3, and McQuarters got a piece of his face mask as
2 missed opportunities.
3rd and goal. Moss comes in motion. Culpepper wide open for the touchdown. Randy Moss. By the way, we don't want to shortchange Ontario Smith. He has 195 total yards.
I'm glad we got that strike.
Grossman, soft touch. Thomas Jones. And Jones out to the 48-yard line. Gain of 8.
Well, the Bears should be in a hurry-up mode. I mean, they shouldn't be huddling up right now. They should be at the line of scrimmage, calling the play at the line of scrimmage. The clock is not their friend right now, ticking down to just about the 5-minute mark.
Jones again. Bears followed the game plan to a T in the first quarter without Urlacher and 4 other starters on the defensive side. They controlled the ball. Their opening possession lasted nearly 7 minutes, but were unable to reach the end zone until this 4th quarter and find themselves down by 12. Catch made by Bobby Wade, and he's forced back by the 2nd-round pick out of Auburn, Ontarius Thomas.
I'll tell you what Rex Grossman has here. He's got a good running back, and that offensive line is sound. And they're going to get better. They're going to get Gandy back and maybe Rex Tucker back. But the offensive line has played well today. They've protected Grossman very well, given him extra time to try to find a receiver. You know, the shortcoming of this team right now is they don't have explosive players at the wideout position. They're young. They're inexperienced. We've seen some of that today. And Rex Grossman doesn't have a lot of help right now. But there's some building blocks here with this football team.
Under 4 minutes remaining, 2nd down and 7. Pump fake. Grossman looking for Berrien. Incomplete. Brian Williams on the coverage for the Vikings.
Well, I mean, Berrien's the guy, that the rookie that they're high on because of his speed, but he has to learn how to play the position. There's just so much to learn, and the problem is, for a guy like Berrien, who's he going to learn from? I mean, David Terrell is a young player. He's still trying to figure out his way. Bobby Wade and Justin Gage are young players, so there's not a veteran guy. Remember, like when Chris Carter was here in Minnesota, he was teaching Randy Moss a lot of the tricks.
Bears had a veteran in Marty Booker, but they traded him to Miami for Gunlia. 4 wide receivers, and they keep it on the ground with Thomas Jones, who picks up the 1st down to the 38-yard line, and Jones is over the 100-yard mark now with 103 today.
Yep.
Gained 152 yards on the ground last week at Green Bay. Bobby Wade, another Bears 1st down. Takes it all the way down to the 22-yard line. Eagles in a rout over the Lions with 2 minutes to go, and the Eagles will be the next opponent, Brian, for the Chicago Bears next Sunday at Soldier Field.
Yeah, you know, and it's going to be a tough day for the defense there because McNabb just has so many weapons right now.
Grossman over the top to Jones.
This is a good drive, though, by Chicago. I mean, taking this ball down the field, they need to get this thing in the end zone if they can before the 2-minute drill. And then go play, you know, for the onside kick. Fighting and scrapping for everything right now.
4 wide receivers.
This group up here has protected Grossman the whole day.
Inside. Hand off to Jones. Takes it down to the 5, gain of 7.
So players get gassed in this 2-minute drill. You know, you look at the defensive guys, they're not rotating right now. They're just all bent over trying to get themselves a breath right now. You could take advantage of this.
From the 5.
He wants to help him out. He wants a touchdown.
Will he try and take it in himself? He fumbles.
Yeah, he does.
I think it was recovered out of bounds by the Vikings, and Grossman is shaken up.
Just indecisive on what he was going to do. Slide, go head first, throw the ball.
And the recovery out of bounds. So the Bears hold on to the football as we hit the 2-minute warning, and Grossman remains down.
Going for the reach. That ball is all on the goal line. No possession right there.
If you are a true Vikings fan, you'll want to join the brand new Vikings official fan club. For only $5 or more, you can register as a fan.
Rex Grossman heading to the Bears locker room here in Minnesota. Randy Moss extending his hand to Rex. And the Bears will challenge. Now, although we have hit the 2-minute warning, Brian, because the play took place outside the 2-minute warning, it's a coach's challenge, not a booth.
Viewing the play, the ball came loose just after the ball broke the plane of the end zone for a touchdown. Chicago is not charged with a team timeout.
Lovey figured out this replay challenge system here. That if you throw the flag and you believe in what you're seeing, you can get it overturned. I'm looking at Randy Moss down there. He's right here. He's in the back line. What Chicago wants is that ball to jump like that in the air, trying to get themselves a jump ball. Randy Moss is in the back there looking for his biggest catch of the day, maybe.
Must go at least 10 yards. It does. It's bouncing around, and it's recovered by the Vikings.
It's the toughest play for officials to officiate.
From the 39. Vikings leading by 5. Ontario Smith. Gain of 1. The Bears used their first time out after Joe Odom made the tackle. 1:54 on the clock.
Half of the season.
Bears have 2 more timeouts. 2nd and 9. Smith again. Tackled at the 36 by Tommy Harris. Bears use their 2nd timeout. Vikings facing a 3rd down and 7.
Beaten ranks. St. Louis coming back to beat New Orleans late in that 4th quarter.
3rd down and 7. Bears have 1 timeout remaining. Play action. And Culpepper goes down back at the 39.
That's a bad series by the Vikings. Made the Bears burn all 3 timeouts, but they're going to have to, I would think, punt this ball away right here. Well, we'll find out a little bit about Jonathan Quinn. I saw him 4 years ago over in NFL Europe. He was the league's most valuable player for the Berlin Thunder, and since then he's had a couple of starts, but gone a few years when he was at Kansas City, he didn't play at all.
His career numbers: 4 years in Jacksonville, 2 in Kansas City. Completed 69% of his passes in the preseason.
Kenny, this is a key play on a 2-point conversion. That could be the difference right now by the Bears. I mean, it's a chance to cut this to a 3-point lead.
Penalty marker on first down as Quinn's pass is nearly intercepted by Brian Williams. Nixon not called for the offsides, although you don't know what would have transpired after that.
Right.
Defense number 31 lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty is still first down.
Russian Jones, the guilty Viking. 12 penalties on each team today.
Yeah, like the Vikings just don't make it easy. One thing about Quinn is he is tall. He's about 6'6". Totally different stature standing back there. Not a mobile guy, can't get away from a rush. A true pocket quarterback.
7th season out of Middle Tennessee State. In for the injured Grossman. Pass too high, intended for Justin Gage. Russian Jones on the coverage.
Here's the thing, there's no timeouts for Chicago. So any kind of pass down the middle of the field, they've got to get right up to the line of scrimmage, get set, make a decision whether to spike it, kill the clock, or have the play run and ready to go. You fit the ball to the outside, you can get out of bounds and stop the clock. You're the Viking defenders, you want to funnel everything in here.
Everybody out. Quinn airing it out off the fingertips of Gage.
The other thing you want to play for, if you're the Chicago Bears, is any kind of illegal contact or pass interference. Again, good protection for Quinn. Good thing Justin Gage got a hand on that. Brian Russell might have got himself his first interception of the year.
Third down and 5. 4 wide receivers for the Bears. Quinn's pass deflected, incomplete. Again, looking for Gage. Down to a minute 16. No timeouts remaining. Bears must go for it on 4th and 5.
They're throwing it to the sidelines where they try to get the first down here. I think that ball was tipped. Justin Gage was almost out of bounds right there.
Fourth and 5. Quinn under pressure. Down he goes. So the Vikings head to their bye with a record of 2-1. They will travel to Houston in 2 weeks. Bears drop to 1-2 under Lovie Smith. Will host the Eagles next week as Donovan McNabb returns home to Chicago. Thanks to our statistician Elliot Kalb, our spotter Dave Brooks. 2 touchdowns for Randy Moss. Dante Culpepper threw 2. Ran in for another. Vikings win it 27-22. For Brian Baldinger and Jay Glazer, this is Kenny Albert. So long from Minneapolis.